Hello ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, and welcome back to The Matrix. Last month I held a broke canon competition, and I got an influx of so many good facts that it would be a crime not to share them. Did you know... Oh my... God, did someone just shoot a gun?
Nobody move. Hands in the air.
Look, Ben, the floor is yours, man. Just put the gun down.
I came first place in that competition. I'm still waiting for my prize.
I'm doing them, Ben.
I'm going to shoot you with my gun.
I don't want to fucking die.
No, worse. You want to hear some Doctor Who trivia?
Hello ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon. I bring the gravest of news. The Matrix has brought me here to tell you about one of the worst things the Doctor has ever done. We're here to talk about Sixie, a Doctor who's clearly no stranger to violence, but he's moved on from Perry and Shockeye and has now come after another beloved children's character. Meet Roland Rat.
Kevin, you fool! You just ordered 2 portions of sweet and sour prawn balls!
Talking puppet, saviour of TVAM, whatever that is, and a main enemy, according to the wiki, the Matrix.
I'm a living legend! Yeah!
In a story beautifully referred to as Untitled 1986 TV story, just mwah. The 6th Doctor dared a visit to the Rat Cave. Villain! And was given the task, the ignoble task, of introducing an episode of Roland's show on BBC Three. But then, Roland Rat dared test the fury of a Time Lord. Presumably because someone showed him Mark at the Rani. 6 just couldn't take it. He couldn't let that slide.
And now, back to BBC One for Doctor Who. The series.
Without mercy or regret, he open-fired with the ray gun he just happened to have on his person. Who gave him that? Where are my books to explain this? Huh? Terence Dix?
I have met with the strangest creatures in the universe. Daleks, Cybermen, even the dreaded Wogan from the planet Shepherd's Bush. BBC Three presents the slimiest of them all. Roland Rat, the series. Yeah!
Still, it could have been worse. At least Roland didn't have to listen to any speeches about stratospheres or whatever. But I'm pleased to inform the fans of Roland Rat that the Doctor missed, as the twin dilemma had already established, that 6 is a rotten shot.
I'm sorry, Doctor, but even Time Lords have to wait sometimes. Here's Scragtag.
Honestly, I'm surprised we don't talk about this more. This is easily one of the darkest stories this franchise has to offer. It goes Children of Earth, The Skyman, Miracle Day, Untitled 1986 TV story, and then, Fix with Sontarans? Colin? Colin, what are you doing? Colin, put the gun down!
Thank you to Mr. Baker for ending that tangent. I'm glad that he was murdered. He wasn't wrong though. In fact, Ben might have been onto something when it actually turns out the 6th Doctor had a real presence on British television. Yeah, thanks, I meant on other shows. Smartass. He was a regular, recurring guest. Not only is there a back catalogue of Blue Peter appearances, but the Doctor and Perry, in character, also appeared on Saturday Superstore. Some classic TV back from the 1980s. Taking some very sweet live phone calls from kids and fans. Until he gets a dreaded phone call from his biggest fan of all. No, not Ian Levine.
I see we have somebody called the Master on the telephone
What?
next. Hello?
Hello?
I am the Master, and you will obey me.
You burned to death, I saw you. Well, he saw you. We saw you.
I shall come from the depths of hell to haunt you, Doctor.
You can't, you're dead.
I saw him die, I saw it.
How can you be sure? I challenge you, Doctor, in your latest guise. You are the most arrogant of all. Let us decide our feud once and forever.
Look at this sussy Barker starting beef on live air television. You wouldn't catch DAVROS phoning into a children's TV show. I like that the Amy Master is just like around, always heckling him, just appearing randomly at will and shit-talking the Doctor at any opportunity. Oh no, that was his actual role during the 6th Doctor's tenure, wasn't it? Now, I wasn't exactly around in the 1980s, by which I mean I emigrated. I'm actually 48 years old. But the Doctor appearing on British television, using his actual name in character, is something we haven't seen in the Doctor Who canon since maybe late Troughton, where he was a TV personality and celebrity hero of the Earth. Running in those circles in that time period might also explain this scene. Hey, pro canon fun fact?
Jimmy Savile is much more frightening than the Sontarans. Much more. I will leave it at that.
Colin Baker definitely knew about Savile. Actually, that's not really a fun fact at all. Fact number 2. Dying is not an option. Last month I also binged all of Miracle Day, which I did not shut up about, but it did get me thinking. That's a big global event. I love it when Doctor Who does something massive, because it's inevitable that other stories would be set within that frame of time. And Miracle Day, I looked it up, takes place over several months, the majority of 2011, starting in mid-March and finishing in late September, according to this story. Now, over in Doctor Who, the Doctor and the Ponds are mostly off-Earth in this time. Series 6 isn't really set in modern day at all. How about Series 5 of the Sarah Jane Adventures? These poor kids, in probably the most threatening season of the show.
I won't let you hurt this child!
If they screw up even one time, they won't be fixed. They could be incinerated, chopped up, shot or poisoned, and they would end up like everybody else in the concentration camp down the road. Which for me only adds to the stakes of these episodes. Yeah, don't take it so lightly when a gun is held at a 15-year-old kid. This was around the same time that Clyde Langer fell victim to the curse of Hito Kumtek. A very scary and unsettling story where everybody Clyde Langer knows is trying to kill him. Sarah Jane Smith draws a weapon on him in this very comfy, safe show. So that's a gut punch. But everybody in this story, everybody in this series, everyone in this year knows that if they hurt or even try to kill Clyde, it's going to be something much, much worse than death. I recently brought myself to finish those final few episodes of the Sarah Jane Adventures, and I'm so sad to report that James Turfus is the final villain of the show. Is there anything this man can't bomb?
I expected high-class industrial spies, not Mumsnet.
John Harrison was taken away into the stars and probably subjected to slavery for the rest of his life. Maybe leaving before the end of the blessing means his eternal suffering goes on forever, torturing himself to the end of time, like in real life. I like to think that one's the case. I don't know. Definitely feels like something the Doctor should have intervened with. What was he doing in the meantime? Well, he was on his farewell tour from the 18th to the 20th of April. But in Let's Kill Hitler, that's 2011. In The Impossible Astronaut, the Doctor arranges to meet them all in 2011, the 22nd of April. Amy and Rory experienced the events of Miracle Day. Presumably, so did Melody, who almost hit them with a car. Something their bodies would not come back from. Put that gun down. River, please. There's so much worse going on here than Hitler. The same goes for Craig Owens and Alfie, which kind of works, because the Cybermen don't kill, they augment. But I don't know, that Cybermat got a little bit close for comfort. Also in this period of time, Chloe Webber's father was killed in a car accident. It's undated, so I have to presume this happened really early in the year, or maybe it was a late Christmas present. The only outright contradiction is Doris Lethbridge Stewart, who died in a boating accident during the events of Miracle Day. So I guess the only people immune to the miracle were Captain Jack Harkness and Doris. That detail comes from the Book of the Shadows of Avalon, but even on TV, the Brigadier himself would die that same year, only a couple months later, on Friday the 16th of December. He hung on, narrowly escaping that death camp. Can you imagine? So the Brigadier's timeline. Wife dies, he's on his deathbed, avoids concentration camp, the Doctor doesn't show up, and then his body is desecrated and dug up as a Cyberman by the Master. Rest in peace, Nicholas Courtney. Also, I hope you didn't cremate him. Maybe Miracle Day gave him a few more months on this earth. Grim, grim, grim. But also what comes to my attention whilst discussing Miracle Day is the web series, the accompanying animated, clearly well-preserved series, Torchwood Web of Lies. Released online to Apple devices, concurrently with Series 4, interactive online content akin to Attack of the Grask, complete with logic puzzles designed for babies. It turns out that the three families, the main villains of Miracle Day, have been keeping track of Jack and actually apprehended both him and Gwen, gave them all of the answers that they spent 10 episodes searching for? Months and months of investigation. Web of Lies tells us that in 2007, they just told them all their plans there and then, kidnapping Jack Harkness and taking him to Chernobyl just to test his immortality. Conveniently, their minds are then wiped with the retcon drug. If you were playing this as it was coming out, you would have gotten the answers to these mysteries before they were even aired. Really cool in retrospect, but also way to undermine the very piece of media you're meant to be promoting and supporting. Follow Gwen and Jack in a thrilling 10-part installment story as they relearn exposition they were told 4 years ago. Cut to San Francisco 2011, the real story follows Holly and Miles Mockery, who after a failed assassination attempt, that's unfortunate, bad day for it, find that their conspiracy theories aren't actually that ludicrous, because they have information which could have stopped Miracle Day from happening in the first place. There are conspiracy nutters doing Torchwood's job better than them. Torchwood, maybe, but not the FBI. The FBI, according to this short, already knew the entire time. They knew the key to the Miracle Day, they knew it was gonna happen. Oh, and they did absolutely nothing about it. Phenomenal stuff. Hey, how did Gwen Cooper survive Chernobyl without a radiation suit? Honestly, I think there's bigger questions at this point. And fact number 3. Davros's mum was the first Dalek. The Davros family tree. Oh, damn. First up, this fact was suggested by Men with Ven 28. Davros's mum was the first Dalek. Or she would have been, at least. The DAVROS series has just about the strangest origins you could come up with for this guy. The second story in the spin-off, Purity, introduces the character Calcula. Lady Calcula is the name of Davros's mum, a high-ranking Khaled politician. She had Davros illegitimately. Davros is a bastard boy. For, let's say, reasons, Lady Calcula lost it and manically butchered her family, killing her husband, drowning Davros's sister, YARVEL, no relation, in the family pool. Yo, Davros had a family pool? That's sick. Shame about, before then marching into Davros's laboratory and destroying all of his work. And Davros was the child that she loved. I think he got off lightly, but she didn't. But this backfired when she tried to destroy Davros's latest creation, and Lady Calcula found herself mutating. Davros remarked like a beautiful butterfly, forming one eye. Sad, pointed tentacles. Davros's mother turned herself accidentally into the first proto-Dalek mutant. Like any normal boy, this inspired Davros. Her mutation and then death, he thought was beautiful. That's the way we should all go. You are becoming what we all will become, but just a little too early. Skaro isn't ready for you yet. The universe isn't ready for you. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a dysfunctional family unit. But wait, no, hang on. According to Terry Nation, creator of the Daleks and creator of all contradictory Dalek lore, Davros's mother was killed in a rocket when Davros was only 6 years old. And there is the origin of Davros, or one of 6, at last count anyway. You know what? Good on him. Watching your murdering maniacal mother try and kill your entire family. only to watch her then go through a change of heart as she mutates into a one-eyed jellyfish, then to watch her die in front of you and come back multiple times as a ghost. Those are the moments that life is made of. So whenever Davros talks about his children, just know it's because he's suffering from mummy issues. Nice job, lady. Now that's some parenting. Thank you for watching. I'm sending off the packages as soon as I can to all the prize winners. And I'll see you next time for more explore of the Doctor Who lore.